the strong wind signal number 3 is in force. First, let's take a look at the location of Ma-on. Ma-on has already made landfall near Danbai, Ming, Guangdong. At 11 a.m., severe tropical storm Ma-on was estimated to be about 290 kilometers west-southwest of Hong Kong. It is forecast to move west or west-northwest across the coast of western Guangdong. If we look at the radar pictures, we can see that under the influence of the outer rain bands associated with Ma-on, there will be squalls affecting Hong Kong occasionally. There will still be occasional gale force winds offshore and on high ground over the southwestern parts of the territory at first. Seas will be rough with swells. Members of the public are advised to stay away from the shoreline and not to engage in water sports. With Ma-on moving away from Hong Kong, the prevailing local winds will gradually weaken. Depending on the degree of weakening of local winds, the observatory will consider issuing the standby signal number 1 or canceling all tropical cyclone warning signals. As to the weather forecast, strong south to southeasterly winds, occasional gale force offshore and on high ground over the southwestern parts of the territory at first. Winds will weaken later. It will be cloudy with occasional squally showers and thunderstorms. Seas will be rough with swells. As to the outlook, still a few showers tomorrow, becoming mainly fine and hot during the weekend to early next week. Perhaps we can look at the wind distribution during the tropical cyclone signal number 8. Here is a map showing the locations of places where gale force winds or even storm force winds were recorded during the tropical cyclone warning signal number 8. We can see that Cheung Chau Wetland Island registered gale force winds and Ong Ping even registered storm force winds. If we look at the time series of the wind speed of Cheung Chau Weather Station, we can see more details about the variation of wind speed. We can see that from about 10 p.m. last night, we can see that the winds at Cheung Chau pick up to exceed gale force wind. Here the blue dashed lines shows the gale force wind speed. We can see that from 10 o'clock last night, the winds at Cheung Chau pick up to above gale force continuously. But after 9 a.m. this morning, we can see that the winds at Cheung Chau weakened continuously. In fact, the observatory issued the strong wind signal number 3 at 9:20 a.m. to replace the number 8 gale signal. We also have mentioned that the forecast track of Ma-on has been quite uncertain. Here, this is a comparison of Ma-on's actual track with the probabilistic forecast track at 22 August. We can see that the black line is the actual track of Ma-on. It is a little bit to the west of the forecast track then. The colored areas are showing the forecast track with and also showing the uncertainties of those forecast tracks. With the actual track a little bit to the west of the original forecast track, actually the Ma-on is a little bit further away from Hong Kong. In fact, Ma-on was closest to Hong Kong at 3 to 4 a.m. Early this morning when it skirted at about 190 kilometers to the southwest of Hong Kong. With Ma-on taking on a more westerly track, we can see that the tide level brought by Ma-on's storm surge together with the astronomical high tide is a little bit lower than the original expected 3.0 meters. But the tide level still reached a level of 2.7 meters under the effects of the storm surge of Ma-on. The above is a summary about the wind distribution as well as the tide level brought by Ma-on.